on the iPhones, we go live from the direction where you can see yourself, right? So you at least know, like, you're live, it's working, and we can see comments. But guess what? If we did that, everything would be backwards. So we are doing this, basically we're doing this blind.
Yeah.
So
we'll read comments at the end. So
we'll address your comments. Guys, this is 111. Happy Monday. Cheers. We have our friend Annie Schmitt here. Annie is no stranger to Mimosa Monday, are you?
No, I am not.
What episode was she?
48.
Episode 48 was
Also,
Annie's easel.
My first live video without you.
Yes.
I think I was having a baby then. Yes. So Annie is back in a new role, sort of like new but same, but just kind of switched around role. So we still have Annie's easel, but Gesso Design Company is her new kind of passion and where you're putting most of your focus.
Yep.
And they work so well together.
They do. But we got to personally use Gesso Design Company and Annie because we just did this whole branding and we're like essentially launching our website today.
I would call this their official launch. Official launch. You guys have been teasing.
We've been teasing, but I also think we kind of crashed and burned like the official launch party because, you know,
COVID.
it's what do you
whatever. Blame that.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been great, right?
Yes. So we came to Annie because we kind of decided we needed a new look, like something kind of fresh. And also, I have a personal fear of being one of those realtors that like people are like, oh, she doesn't look anything like her picture. Or was that headshot from like 20 years ago? So I think I do a fairly good job of keeping like headshots updated and such. But our website was due for
it maybe didn't represent our personalities.
And we just kind of had the office redesign and kind of like this new fresh vibe. So we were looking for just something new and fun. So enter Annie.
Hey.
Where it all started.
We're back in
panicking.
May.
Was it May?
I think it was May.
Officially though, I think headshots and everything started August, and that's when things started getting rolling. Picking out your colors and like presenting the different logo options. So then it started to kind of pick up speed.
But the first thing we had to do when we reached out, we're like, hey, we think we need a new logo. You like came in and sat down with us and you had us fill out like paperwork. We had to like go and we had like
a branding questionnaire. So I start all things first, just initial call. Like you might not know exactly what you need, but you just have a feeling something's up, we need something fixed.
We need something.
So just having like an initial sit down and just talking through things gives me like a great idea of things that you might need and kind of a strategy behind like what visuals will bring what you guys need. So like bringing in new clients, what are some different platforms you're using and how can we make those look great and say like your personality visually. So branding questionnaire was step one.
And that was something that was actually kind of difficult. I mean, when we talk about going through it, it was actually a little bit difficult because I felt like it was hard to differentiate what we communicate versus what we want to communicate. Because I think part of it was like what's your client, ideal client, or what's your brand strategy?
And that's a difficult question too. The ideal question or the ideal client. Because we don't. We're not gonna like turn people away. So like, it's more, do you want to work with us? Is this a good partnership?
Sure, is it a good fit? And I think that's actually very important as a realtor and a client to understand that your relationship with your realtor needs to be a good fit. So we always do say, if it's a good fit to work together, on buyers and sellers. But that was actually kind of difficult to. We were like, well, this is what we want to be.
But and then we like showed her all of the social media stuff, like. And none of it matched, So and you know that.
But it's about like figuring out your ideal customer because you guys already have your like strong base. But if you were to like pick out anybody to sell a home to, or who you would want, just initial visual attraction, someone to see you and want you guys, like who would that person be, or who would that look like to pick up your guys' business card and say, go to your website and be like, oh, these guys are personable. So it's figuring out that person, and then also having multiple people and knowing those people makes it so much easier to market and create this content.
And so that's why realtors should not like be website and logo designers because
which is a good
question.
We asked you, like, when you see a bad logo or a bad website, like, are you just totally judging?
I'm not judging, but it's like we were
Are
talking
you
about.
cringy?
Okay, it's like this though. Okay, because it's not judging. You love everyone, right?
Right.
It's like if you're going on a date and yes, you're going on a date and you're like, okay, this person's cute. I want to go on the first date. That's your logo. If someone is willing to like pick your logo out and say that's cute, I'd date you, or I'd go, yeah, maybe first date. And
swipe
then,
right.
you know, swipe right. Like yes, then it's like okay, your logo's done a great job. You open the door. Now, what your brand identity and your strategy and all your visuals are going to do, those are the second, third, and fourth dates that are going to just reel them in marriage material. Like you're trustworthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of like. Yeah.
I love it.
In the comments, are we marriage material?
So walk us through. So the reason we're doing this blind today is because we wanted to show some of the things that we went through. So this is actually when you came to meet with us the first time in person. This is the actual presentation that you gave to us. So I think like kind of walk us down memory lane.
Yeah, we should have had our little packet ready so we could have seen how we answered some of the
Oh
questions.
right,
now it's
right.
Like,
So yeah, this is kind of all the things that we had developed since we started, based off of like what we've learned and what we've done. So brand identity we built from scratch.
There it is.
Their logo,
brand
new logo.
And the really cool thing is when you do go to 515realtor.com, this is the opening page, but then the signature is actually like happening animated.
We'll show you.
Yes, it's very cool.
And just having like that personal touch, I think was really important because you have a nice established type, but then having your personality here with like the XOXO Megan and Nicole that you guys have been using very well.
It was really important to us to keep the Century 21 logo and brand incorporated in that because that's something we're very proud of.
Important to us, but also probably made your job a little bit more.
It was good though because they had such a strong base. They have this parent, this high, the main company, and you have all your set fonts and your set colors. But then it's like figuring out a way to make your personality distinct, but yet still flow. So like we introduced Mimosa Monday that has the Century 21 gold, and we kept kind of the black and white, similar to what they're using.
And then we learned what all those things mean.
So this is
when you actually use a JPEG.
Brand standards guide. Basically, this has everything that we've done, and then so moving forward, they can look up. Okay, here are the code colors that we're using, brand assets.
Which the code colors are really cool because if you've ever used like Canva, you can actually do custom colors and just type those codes in. And then with the upgraded version of Canva, you can actually, what you've done is put all these templates in for us, so everything is like good to go. So as part of the package, not just logo or even like identity, like Annie was kind of in charge of like figuring out who are Megan and Nicole, but our logo, our website, the photography, and then all the little elements that go around it. So social media and how we present and like our buyer and seller guides and anything from stickers and thank you cards and all these things that really all tie together. Because I think what I felt like going into this beforehand is I said we are just a bunch of hodgepodge right now. Like we have zero like direction.
But you had energy towards each thing. Like the fact that you were like we're seeking out and trying to make things unique was like a red flag. Like you need consistent branding because like you're already paying attention and it looks so great. Like you're being thoughtful in what you're delivering. Sure. But then having them all flow is like whoa, that's the brand.
Our bright
experience.
Gift bags were not.
Oh yeah, because I liked the color. Like whatever.
It looks good.
It's fine. Yeah. That was in such old days.
That was back in the day.
So then we had the best
This
time.
was a fun day.
This was so fun. And this is a testament to Annie and her photography skills. I've said it before because you did our newborn shots. And my husband actually gave I think the best compliment. He was like, that was actually really fun and she's really good at what she does. And any photographer who can work with kids and make it happen and just capture the stuff and move on and keep it moving is like, you're like an angel. So this was super fun because I know that I am not a photogenic person at all.
But you are.
But I'm not.
You are.
But no, she made me that way. Like
you guys are fun.
Like and low stress.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And like just fun. And we weren't worried about the outcome because we knew that was going to be your problem to deal with.
It was a good outcome.
So it was super fun.
I thought it was awesome too to be able to create the photography for the brand. So like already knowing like your color schemes and like what you're going for, having like the accent Mimosa Monday and more playful. It just made like creating that content for your website so much easier. And now you have a set library of images that you can use for your social and use anywhere you guys want.
And then we also have a set of images
coming
for like
soon outtakes.
Oh yeah.
What not to do.
So funny.
Just talking through like how you had different pieces that you've already made, like before you had a bunch. So now they all kind of match. So here's their letterhead. We have like this cool doodle that spills over. Their business cards, we use that photography. It's really important for their business to have their face on the table when they go to different houses and leave those.
Let me just touch on one more thing too. Sorry, I keep interrupting. No. The doodle. So that was like such a cool element to bring in because of the doodle in our office. Like, you know, our friend Alicia, who did that all freehand, did this huge doodle basically on our walls, and so that was a really cool thing to just kind of pick up on and bring into it.
Yeah. Some other things, thank you cards, and little home anniversary graphics. So just all the fun visual things that they needed as well. Yeah, web design. This is kind of the big one.
Yeah,
it's live.
Yeah, it is. You can go there. You can. We dropped it.
They launched it, and it looks great. And look at how cute they are. Make sure you check it out. What other things on there?
Can we pull it up?
I think so.
Let's do it.
And maybe if you haven't visited yet, then you can. I think unless you've probably already visited the graphic, you know, that animates.
Yeah, but I think it starts over. I think it's there.
515realtor.com.
And here it comes.
Oh,
no!
I didn't type it in right. 515 realtor.
No, realtor.
I didn't do the L.
There it is.
Sorry. Da-da-da.
There it is.
Animation.
Look at that signature.
That's my fave.
Megan did spend one day practicing her signature for the right one. And I did too. And I decided I didn't know how to write your name.
I felt like a giddy, elementary school girl by writing my name 1 million times all over my notebook.
This one is it. Yeah, I actually think it might have been during a continuing ed class.
No.
You're like, so I just write this and send it? I'm like, yeah, I'll get it scanned in. I think, yeah, you did a good job.
I love this picture, even though it's not really what I would say is like a real estate. But it was when we went skydiving, and it was so much fun.
That was so you were there to capture that day, and you did a good job.
You guys did that, crazy.
It was crazy, but that was cool because we know that was kind of an extra, and she was flexible and willing to come down to the winter set and do that.
I don't think I would ever do it, but seeing you guys go through it, and you were freaking out. I feel like you were kind of chill.
You were freaking out?
I feel like I would look at Nicole and you'd be like, yeah, this is cool, but I'm like, you were like me, you're hiding it. But then you landed and you made it, and it's just like a life-changing moment. I think I can do it now.
I was actually freaking out, but trying not to visually freak out because I didn't want her to freak out.
I started freaking out. One, I was already a little bit nervous getting in that rickety plane.
Rickety?
Yeah, it's not big. But then when we were circling numerous times and watching you as because from a pilot standpoint. And then I'm like, all right, your face isn't looking excited, and then the other three guys
listening to what they were saying, and at one time I felt like they were sort of disagreeing on whether or not we should do it.
So then my watch is like, yeah, your heart rate is so high right now.
It was fun.
It was a good time.
So Annie, to kind of bring this all together, Gesso can offer services. I think you cannot skip the brand identity part of this.
Yeah, and right now,
at first I would have thought, I don't need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it gives you an idea of where to go with everything.
And it makes it easier for you to figure out what it is that you want for your business, right?
For sure.
If we hadn't done the rebranding and we just wanted her to make
it's like a relationship exercise.
Yeah.
It's really tough, but it's needed to make progress.
Yeah.
So elements, like, can you offer like pieces and parts of this whole package? Like, what would you say? What's your like pitch for Gesso? Like, how do you present that?
So like I have like an idea of different services that I provide, but a lot of the things stem from just talking with you and then figuring out like where you want to go and like where like what you want to be basically, and then from there it's like, okay, if you're working within a budget, I understand that, and making like different phases. But like I would present a custom strategy for you based off of like what your needs are. And the base one that I always start with is brand identity, because having like that set guide of assets and fonts and colors and having this everything defined makes it so easy for all of the touch points throughout like your brand experience to be consistent and create brand trust. Because have you ever had like an email that is completely different looking than your brand experience from a website or something like that? Having those things connect creates trust, and hopefully your clients, I mean, obviously did like that. So I'd say like the services that I do offer, my core services are brand identity, and then extending that with print collateral, and then any type of digital media, building out templates for social media, MailChimp templates, as well as photography, gifts, stickers, for like Instagram. We have like I got like 4, right? We got a new listing stickers. Those are fun. And then website design, custom website design. So depending on your budget, there's ones that you can just build off of templates, or like this one, it's all custom built. There's really interesting different elements that makes it completely unique, and so there's a wide variety, but just having those little elements that create interest, like this little guy who's just animating, then that you also have that as a sticker, and then that also translates into like an Instagram post. So just creating all these assets that help your clients see who you are.
Yes. Yeah. It's been super fun, and also I think we're still learning and uncovering like some of the things that you've done, and like how, and we're kind of scared to like, can we change this, or can we like, if we get rid of this word, can we change it? And it's okay. It's okay. We think it's okay.
Good.
But
We're still learning how to be bloggers.
Yes. That was kind of a strategy. I just keep doing that.
So you can find Annie on Gesso Design Company's Instagram and website and Facebook and all the good things.
Yep.
And I think that you are just like super multi-talented, because you do the graphic design, you do the illustrations. Like I feel like that's kind of like in your like heart, like you love, because I
love art. I love art and design.
And just like the doodles, like just whipped that up.
That
like,
stuff.
Just drew a key real quick that happened to be adorable.
And then photographer, and all of managing all of this. So like that's a whole thing in itself. So your partnership with David, the developer, and just kind of managing the process and keeping us on task. Like I know that we needed like, hey, have you looked at this yet? Are you done? What changes do you need? So we kind of need constant prompting. But you know us well, and you know that you can do that. So, yeah.
And you guys did a great job like getting things back, and it just feels like what you've said, like what you said in the questionnaire, and just knowing you guys as people, I just feel like it was just so fun to then bring all of that to like visuals to help more people see who you are. So it's just very,
super fun.
It was
Awesome.
Should we peek?
You should
There's
peek.
probably a lot of
You're gonna peek. There's a lot of comments probably, and I'm gonna talk about our 2 new listings that we had launched today. So number 1. In the Beaverdale neighborhood, 1441 43rd Street, just north of Forest.
They must be waiting.
University, north of Forest. It is a cute single-family home, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. The hardwood floors are gorgeous. They just were refinished. Actually, both listings have hardwood floors refinished. All original trim and woodwork. Everything's in great shape. It's new carpet, new paint. The bathroom's been remodeled. There's a little sunroom, so if you are needing to work from home, this is a great office space. And there's a 2-car tuck under garage. And this house happens to be next door to a client that bought their house a few years ago, probably 3 years ago. So I talked to them today and said, hey, guess what? Sign going up in your yard. So that one is $169,000. You guys, it's super cute. Go check it out. And then another listing that just came live today. This one's been like a long time in the making, but it's in Clive on 163rd Circle. So it's 0.44 acres. It backs up to the trail and a creek. Gorgeous setting. It's a
Great
2-story, 3288 square feet with additional 1250 in the basement finish. It's walkout. When you look at this house from the back, there's like literally 3 levels of decks or patios. So you have the master bedroom, which walks out to its own little covered deck, and then you have a covered deck off of the main level, and then you have the walkout basement. So that one is 4 bedrooms up, 5th bedroom in the basement. It's contemporary. Jerry Bussamus built it. He's one of my favorite builders, so it's just got great style. There is a main floor office, a dedicated office in that home as well. It just has everything.
And if you're homeschooling right now,
yes,
there's an amazing little setup. The whole wall is like dedicated for students.
Yeah, so. Super cute. And a secure wine closet.
Oh yes,
wine rack closet. It's really cool. Geothermal, so you get the efficiency there with the HVAC. And that one is $739.9. So we're really excited. We're doing an agent open there. Agents, if you're watching, come visit Wednesday from 11 to 1. And the address is 4125 Northwest 163rd Circle. So
that's why she's good at her job. That's a lot.
I have a really
just like
crazy memory with numbers.
Wow.
So.
I don't.
You guys will be back next Monday. It's National Espresso Day. So we'll be featuring our coffee shop there, and we're excited to have them on. It's a newer shop downtown. We're excited to talk about them and have them live. So if you need anything in the meantime, reach out to us. But look up Annie, look up Gesso Design Co, and let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
Yes. Have a great week.
thank you.
Bye-bye. And we're still blind.
I know.